Good evening and welcome to another edition of Friday Night Lights. I'm Jay Pushkar. Mike Fenner will join us in a moment. This Sunday marks a somber yet resilient anniversary for the town of Albion. As a community looked to rebuild, student athletes from Northwestern High School definitely gave everyone something to cheer about 35 years ago. May 31st, 1985. This was the aftermath following a devastating tornado that ripped through Albion, Pennsylvania.
We lose over 100 homes. Families were absolutely displaced. They moved out of town, and it was really devastating because there was nothing that could be immediately done to rebuild the town in a short-term fashion.
I can recall heading into town just to try to ascertain if our friends were alive. At 17 years old, 18 years old, your world is kind of small, and we were concerned. And I can remember heading into the town that night, and the destruction was incredible.
Just days later, the Northwestern softball team took a vote and played in the District 10 title game. Eventually, the Lady Wildcats would finish state runner-up weeks later.
It wasn't necessarily a surprise that for some reason you had a bunch of fantastic female athletes then all of a sudden be matched by the male athletes of those same grades coming together for the football season.
In the fall of 1985, the Northwestern football team lost the season opener to Corey. It would be the last loss they suffered that season.
The talent was there, the people were there, but I think we needed that one spark in that second game. I think we finally found who we were as a team, and we finally started to get rolling. And by the third game with General McLean, I think we scored from the third play from scrimmage, and I think that was when we said, yes, we're here and we're for real.
And the support was so tremendous. Again, from people who had just suffered personal tragedy, financial tragedy, whatever it was, these people used a football team to rally around. And for a small community, there weren't too many people who missed games on Friday nights.
Eventually, Northwestern would be co-champions of the Erie County League and went on to win the first ever District 10 championship, a 40-7 victory over Reynolds.
There weren't egos. The town of Albion didn't have egos. You had a job to do, and if you did your job, you didn't care who got credit for it. And that was the beauty of that team.
I'm stunned to think back that it's been 35 years already, because we can certainly all remember walking on the fields and hearing the sounds and the smells of what it was like for us to play football. And I can say without a doubt that we miss it dearly.
The two classes that were behind us, we had a core group of guys that had been together since 1979, and we were brothers. We were going to win at any cost.
We're just a special group of guys who would have played hard for one another and didn't bicker and didn't argue, and we went out and played, and I think we did what we had to do, and we had fun doing it too. There's nothing like celebrating a championship and a win and doing it with the guys you love.
Mike, let's send it over to you now.
Thanks so much, Jay. After being a major catalyst for the Cambridge Springs boys basketball team, one senior forward is ready to play at the next level. Blue Devil senior Lance Welker is signed to play college basketball at Fredonia this coming season. Welker, the team's leading scorer each of the past 2 seasons, scored nearly 900 points in his 4 seasons playing for 2 different head coaches. Welker was a key contributor in their Region 3 championship this past season, including a 21-5 record this year. After being recruited by the previous staff at Fredonia, Welker's interest remained the same despite the switch to new head coach and former McDowell star Sean Smiley leading the program.
I was looked at before the coaching staff got switched, and I feel like having a new coach going in there with a fresh start, it's going to be a nice feeling. I was talking to an assistant coach to begin with, and he got me linked up with Smiley, and he has a great energy to him. It's been great. There's been some up and downs, but it's been great. It's going to be one to remember, and that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life.
One of the big storylines across Major League Baseball that continues to develop is the number of minor league players being cut. There are now hundreds of players across baseball who have been cut. Meanwhile, there's been no word from the Detroit Tigers organization regarding their minor league players, including the Erie Seawolves. For the first time, the 2020 MLB draft will be broadcast on multiple networks. The MLB Network and ESPN will carry the coverage on day 1 to begin the 5-round draft on June 10th, beginning at 7 p.m. MLB Network and ESPN2 will carry the coverage the following day, June 11th, beginning at 5 o'clock. The Tigers will pick first in the draft, and the Pittsburgh Pirates will pick 7th overall in next month's selection process. Arizona State first baseman Spencer Torkelson, Vanderbilt outfielder Austin Martin, and Texas A&M left-handed pitcher Asa Lacy are considered to be some of the top prospects who could be selected early on. And one more note in college football. Insider Brett McMurphy from Stadium reports that Pitt college football players can begin voluntary workouts on campus beginning June 8th.